Hey, hi all. Welcome back to the stock market channel Basu and Intraday Guide. This is Basu here. Please do subscribe the channel by clicking on subscribe link and click on the bell icon if you have not already done. So today we are going with one more video, but before that, let us go through the disclaimer. All the content provided in this video is solely for general interest and for educational purpose only. All viewers should seek the expert opinion before acting on anything shown in this material. All the information provided here is solely my personal view, and I am not responsible for any miscommunication or any misinformation or any kind of problems aroused by this video. So with that disclaimer, as I always mention, I even in this video I just want to mention that I'm kind of person who always go with the unconventional method of trading, meaning not the regular way of trading wherein the people say if the stocks go above certain value buy this and stock goes below certain value sell this. So I am of the opinion that if the stock goes above certain value, I generally say it is a sell, because what happens is when you wait for a trade, when you wait for a stock to climb up some value, so you will be losing the stream earlier, and also there might be no stream left in the stock. So with that basic information, let us start the video. And this video is about the auto updating trading tool. So I think n number of people were behind me to create this video, and I think you all are excited to watch this. So yeah, before delaying anything, let's start it. So this is an auto updating trading tool which automatically updates every few seconds and will give you the buy signals for study purpose. You can view the tool through the below link in the description. So I will be giving the description, uh, the link in the below description, and you can just go through and check the tool. And I have tested the tool for the last few months and back tested for the few years, and the tool is working just awesome. So the tool is working so good that if you once you start watching or following this, then probably you will only understand what is this tool worth of. Okay, so before going ahead, I want to make sure that you guys know some basic stuff about the tool. The first one is this document is purely for intraday learning and doesn't cover anything related to delivery. The document consists of shares which are good in volume and are comparatively stable. The document auto refreshes every few seconds, and there is no need of any manual update. It is recommended to use the sheet after 10 a.m. once the market is settled to get the best results. So there is no entry level for any stocks. You need to enter favoring the risk reward ratio. The document should not be downloaded locally. By downloading it locally, the numbers will be dumped and won't update. And importantly, it is only for study and learning purpose. After those general instructions, let's start with a spreadsheet introduction. So let me bring up the spreadsheet. So here it is. So as you can see this, so there are n number of columns here, and you can see the different types also there. So first let us go through the different tabs here. The first one, you can see that buy, the tab here. Okay, so if you can see my cursor, so this is the buy tab, and similarly sell tab is there, volume is there, index is there, and the last one is instructions. So just quickly I will introduce this in few seconds. The first one is buy sell. So if there are any shares which are in buying trend today, or which follow a certain strategy for buying, will be shown in buying in buy tab. Similarly, the selling stocks will be shown in sell tab. And if there are any stocks, or the stocks are sorted out on the basis of their volume search, so you can find out which share is buzzing in volume today. And index tab contains the important levels of bank nifty and bank nifty, the levels from which there might be a heavy possibility of the index taking u-turn. And the last one is instructions. So I have provided the instructions of how to use the Excel sheet or how to use this tool to find out the stocks for the study purpose for the intraday trading. Okay, now with that introduction, let's move on to how to use the tool. So first, let's go with a buy tab. So whatever you are seeing here, so this is the buy tab, and you can see these n number of columns here. So what this buy tab does is, so this will be having 5 different strategies which I have worked since years, and I have came up with 5 different strategies. So you can see this. I have color coded this, and you can see this from AJ to AM is one strategy. Okay, so these are different strategies. AJ to AM is one, AN to AQ is the second, and AR to AU is the third, AB to AY is fourth, and similarly the last one starts from AZ. Okay, so let me talk about these strategies. So these strategies are different scenarios where the stock behaves in a buying mode. So for example, there are 5 different strategies, but I just want to let you guys know what is exactly strategy one. So I'm not going to explain you all the 5 strategies, but let me quickly tell you what is this strategy one. So you might have seen in the market that if a share makes open equals to low, then it is having a tendency of moving up. So this is the strategy one is nothing but open equals to low. So if you can see this, so 262 is the opening price for Tata Motors, and the low made is 261.9, which is just a 10 paise away from the open price. So it is considered as a open equals to low, and hence the strategy is giving as buy signal in this column. So in all the strategies, the first column will be indicating whether it is a buying yes or not. So you can see this Tata Motors is a buying here in this case for the strategy one. Tata Motors DVR is a buying, and also Reliance is a buying because it opened at 364.8 and it made a low of just 30 paise from its opening range. So it is a buying. But you can see this Arvind. So it made a open of 390.3, but it made a low of 389.2. So it is not in the buying range. So it is not considered as a strategy one. So similarly, this is a strategy one, and the out is like a the value where you should come out. So if you are already in the stock, so for example, if I already bought the share at 263 because it opened at 262, and I bought the share at 263, and I should be coming out of the stock if the stock goes to 261.3, because here I should assume that whatever the theory was there, it is wrong, or the stock is going against you. So accepting that, you have to come out, and this hit 1 and hit 2. So these are the targets for the stock to reach after reaching a certain value. So as per this, you can see this 265 is a first target for Tata Motors, and 269, and it has reached both the targets. Similarly, you can see Tata Motors DVR reached both the targets, but you can see this in case of Reliance, it crossed the first target of 377 and it went till 383, but as you can see this, it came back and closed exactly uh, at the target 1, so 977.5. Okay, so similarly there are few more here. You can see this Raymond's gave a it gave a buy signal, and it made a high of which is the 909.5, which is like it hit both the targets, and even went a few points more than that. So similarly, these are like different strategies. So 2, 3, 4, 5 all are different strategies, and you have to follow the same readings out of all the five strategies. And so I'm not explaining all the strategies here. So it is just you can just go through the sheet, and you will come to know what exactly it is after using it for quite a time. Okay, so the next one is I want to talk about this column BD, very important one. So I now told that the first one is like a or the first strategy is open low. So similarly, if we have a share passing multiple strategies, so multiple strategies meaning, as I said earlier, so upon my experience in the last 10 years in market, I have faced different strategies, that is 1 to 5. And if a share is passing multiple strategies, then it will be shown here in the BD column. So as you can see this, Tata Motors is passing four strategies out of five shown here. So you can see it is showing buy here, and the second buy here, third buy here, and for the fourth strategy it is not showing anything, and the fifth it is buy. So meaning the more number of buys, the strong the share is. So here you can see this Tata Motors is showing four buys, and hence it is showing four. So all the first three shares are passing four criteria, and hence it is showing as four. And similarly, coming to the next one, you can see this three here. So there are three shares which are following three conditions, and hence this is next strong share. And after that there are like a 1 1, so the share is passing only one strategy out of five. So it starts from this Axis Bank, you can see this all down below. So yeah, this is about the basic usage of how to buy, how to trade a stock, how to trade a stock from this sheet. So the more number, the more the number in this buy column, the more bullish the stock is. Okay. Uh, yeah, one more thing here. I just want to make sure that you understand that. So you can see this. If a stock is following multiple buys, then which one you should go with? So meaning which target or which stop loss you should go with. So you always should go with the minimum stop loss and minimum target. So meaning out of this 268.9 is the first is the lowest target, and 269 is the next highest. So 268.6 and 268.3, but this strategy doesn't pass us. So 268.6 will be your target for this, and similarly stop loss will be 261.3, which is the closest. Okay, so with that, I think we are good to go to the next sheet, the next tab, which is the sell tab. Again, exactly, sell tab is just a replica of buy tab, but it is on the selling side. So just like the Tata Motors, there you can see the zeal here, which is like a which followed one strategy, and the second strategy, third strategy, four strategies. Or out of five, it followed four strategy, and it was like a heavy selling stock yesterday. So it was showing as a selling four, and it was on the sell side. So similarly, there were no three Isantos here, and only JSW Steel was on the selling side with only one strategy, which is fourth one. So hence it will be the next selling stock. Okay, so think this is, I mean, almost all the points from the buy tab applies here. So whichever the stocks at the top will be heavy bearish, and you can go ahead and short them. Okay, so with that, let's go to the volume tab, a very important tab. So here I have sorted the shares with a uh, with a volume surge of the shares, meaning, so the Titan was having a very high volume yesterday compared to its previous days, and there was a surge in zeal also compared to the previous days. So this basically sorted out based on the volumes, and the best way I prefer trading here is, yeah, you have to I think I need to tell you one important thing. This tool should be always followed only after 9:45 or 9:50 a.m. in the morning. So you are not supposed to take any trades before 9:45, 9:50. So once you are seeing the sheet around 10 o'clock in the morning, what you need to do is you need to check the first 45 minutes of the trend of the top stocks here. So whether it is Titan, Zeal, or Yes Bank, Apollo Tires. So just take some 5 to 10 stocks, and out of that, check the first 45 minutes trend. And if the trend is showing positive in those 45 minutes, go ahead and buy it. Similarly, if the trend is negative, go ahead and sell it. Okay, so because as the volume will be increasing at generally the stock will be having tendency of moving in one particular direction, whether it is up or down. Okay, so and one more very important feature I have included here is breakout point. So what this does is, if any share is trading at its day high or day low, it will be showed here. So as you can see this, IB real estate is it made a low of 147, and 147.05 is the latest price. So it is showing true here. That means this trade or this stock is trading at the day low at that point of time. So similarly, Ambuja was a day low, and you can see Gale also was day low, and yeah, it is on the other side. So you can see the Havels now. So 552.9 it is trading at, and 553 is the day high, so it is saying true. So probably this will help you in picking the stocks in order to trade. I mean, you can just watch out if there is any stock which is trading at a day high, and you can take a trade out of it. Okay. So with that, the next one I'll come to index tab, a very very important tool. So if you keep on observe this for a week or so, you will come to know the importance of this tab. So what it does is, so you can see this. I've specified some sell 1, sell 2, sell 3, buy 1, buy 2, buy 3 for both Nifty and Bank Nifty. So these three are my selling targets, and these three are my buying targets. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm a kind of person who believes that unconventional trading will work in the market and not a regular conventional, because we should always think something different in the market, which no one is thinking of, because that works 95% of the times in market. So in my last 10 years of experience, I have worked on this extensively on this Nifty and Bank Nifty. I have found out that there is a kind of formula wherein Nifty and Bank Nifty is having support or resistance once it moves in a particular direction after opening. So you can see this. As per this theory, Nifty opened at 10,744 yesterday, and it made a high of 816 and made a low of 735. So what this theory says is, first you have to short the share if it reaches 767. That is the first level of shorting, and if the second one will be 781, and the third will be 803. Okay, so these are the different levels wherein you can short the stock, provided it looks like it is taking a U-turn from there, or else the similar way you can buy the stock at 721 or 707 or 684. Okay, so similarly coming to the Bank Nifty here, so it says that you are supposed to sell the stock at 497. Once it is opened at 427, you have to wait till 497 to short it. So if it is going above there, 540 is the next target for that, by which from which there is a heavy chance of it coming down, but it didn't happen. And the next one was 610. So you can see this 609, what is this, 609.85, which is almost 610 was the high for the day. From there it fell like almost 115 points or 117 points. So what I'm saying here is, uh, there there are chances in the market or in the index wherein you can go opposite to the trade. So generally people say you are not supposed to do that, but I say you are supposed to do that with a very strict stop loss of a very minor stop loss. So even if you are losing five trades, that is fine, but one good share will always bring you up. Whatever that four shares you have lost, you will get that back in just only one good trade as per this. So don't worry about the stop losses or the hitting of the stop losses. So you have to maintain a stop loss of like say in Nifty hardly like 8 to 10 points, and in Bank Nifty it will be around 25 to 30 points. Yeah, you should be okay to have that loss, provided you are looking for a big move. So I will tell you how exactly you to trade this. So as you can see this, this will get activated. This the whatever the color coding is there. If it is in the selling range, so if it is in this 10 to 12 range, the cells will be highlighted in orange color, giving us an indication to short it. And when it comes to buying, it will be highlighted in green color, asking us to buy it from the lower levels. So how to trade that? So once the share opens as 427 and it starts climbing towards 497, so when it comes around 497, this will be highlighted in orange, telling us that the levels came in. But you are not supposed to jump in directly when it is showing at 497, the last traded price. What you have to do is you have to wait for, in Bank Nifty case, you have to wait for at least some 10 to 15 points to take the reversal from this, meaning it touches a high of 497. From there it should go back towards the original value, the original open value, which is like 427, meaning negative side. So 497, if it touches and if it starts going back to around 480 or 475, then you have to take trade around 475. Then you need to keep a stop loss of day high plus around 3 points, so which will be like around 500. So meaning you will be buying the share here at 4 sorry, you will be selling it at 4,926,475, and you will be keeping a stop loss of 26,500, which is 25 points. So let me clearly show you how exactly this works. So assume that you did this and the share went against you, and you lost 25 points here. Okay. So now when it comes to 540, again you'll be ready, looking at the template or looking at the tool, and you assume that it may fall from here, uh, but it didn't. So even if you are losing 25 points here, so which will be like 50 points you lost already. But when it comes to 610, and you sell it around 26,580, and the market closed at 26,490, you ended up in getting almost 90 points, which is almost double of what you have lost. So once you start using this, you will get to know the importance of this tool, because this totally works on a stop loss, and again important levels of Nifty and Bank Nifty turning, um, going against the trend after a particular value. So I'm again reiterating, this is a very 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 good tool. So be sure that you will watch the list all the time. So whenever it is giving an indication there with the orange color, so it is telling that market may be reversing, and you need to be ready with the shorting. So similarly, when the market is falling and it is highlighted with the green color there, it is an indication that market may go up from that initial fall. So you need to be ready for buying. Okay, so with that, the and yeah, I just wanted to add something more out of it. So by trading with this principle, right, you are having the main benefit which you will be getting out of it is, um, you will be riding the index from the reversal point, from the exact reversal point, and you have more chances of getting the whole trend. So generally, like when the people says like, if the share is at a 500, they say it is, you are supposed to buy above 505, meaning you are initially losing the streak, and they will say a target of 510. So when the share is moving from 500 to 505, it is almost lost everything. I mean, it almost moved, and there might be no steam left in that. So here what I'm doing is I am trying to get the initial moment of this 5 rupees as well as the another 5, which is like you are getting almost 10 rupees here. And similarly, after reaching this peak point, there is again a chance of reversal, and it may go back to 500, wherein you will be shorting this again at this point. So after looking at the this index tab extensively, probably will come to know how exactly it works, and the good point about this index tab. Okay, so before doing everything, just paper trade for few days, few weeks, then probably you will understand the importance of that. Yeah, with that, so there is one more tab called introductions. Sorry, instruction. So you'll be having the instructions of how to use the sheet. So whatever I talked, that is there in the sheet in a brief. Okay, so with that, let's wrap up the video. But before doing that, I just want to uh, go through quickly again what we saw in this video in a quick couple of minutes. So the first one is you can buy or sell a stock depending on the number of sell tabs here. The more the number, the more bullish the stock is in this buy scenario. So here the more the number it is bullish, and when it comes to sell, the more the number it is bearish. So you can buy the buy stocks shown there, or you can sell stock shown here. Okay, and this is the one thing. The second one is volume tab. So here whatever the stocks you are seeing in the first 5 or 10 number, so you can go ahead and buy or sell that following the trend of the day from the start. So I assume that if you are starting at 10 o'clock, you should see that first 45 minutes trend, in which direction the stock is going, and you can take a trade depending on the that trend, okay, or on that direction. So the third point is index tab. So whenever this cell becomes orange, you need to short it from there. Whenever these three rows becomes green, you need to buy from there. So by doing this, there is a high possibility of you being in the trend throughout the trend, and you can get a maximum profit out of it. Okay, so with that, we'll wrap up, and the link for the tool will be available at the description below. Just go through that, and if you have any questions, queries, please ask in the comment section, or you can contact me at this number mentioned here. So 7892663807. You can ping me anytime, and you will get a reply from me. Okay, so again, thank you very much for your time. So, have a good day ahead. Thank you. Bye bye.